Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to do the range extension on my H501S Hubsan for the controller. As you can see, this is the parts that I received in the mail for the actual extension, and I have had them for a while. I got them from China, as you can see. And this gives you the specs right here, if I can get that to focus a little bit, of the aquarium and all that good stuff. But it's a monopole antenna with a patch antenna. It comes with the little kit here. So I'm going to give it a try. Looks pretty straightforward. I've seen a couple other people do this particular mod, so I'm going to walk through it in steps. First of all, I'm going to lay out and put everything into the area that I need to work. So, okay, be right back. After everything's unboxed and I've got the parts separated, it looks like that you get a washer, a couple of nuts, and a brace piece that holds on the actual connectors. Now, it looks like it's pretty straightforward. On the back of the controller, I'm going to turn it over, there's going to be 4 screws here. We're going to remove each one of the screws and pull the back plate off. I've also made sure that I don't, make sure I take the batteries out. That's one thing I want to do. And we'll take those batteries out and make sure we remove the back plate, and we'll get to where the actual antenna connectors will plug into the board that's on there. Be back in a moment. Now that I've removed the screws, I went ahead and put some foam padding around my gimbal, my sticks for my controller, not gimbal. Just to keep them from moving while I have it turned upside down. I've broken one before, and I use a little super glue to reattach it, and it seemed to work just fine because I've flown with it since then and it's holding up just fine. But now that I have it taken apart, we're going to remove the back, and the back just comes off. There's nothing really special about it. And the battery compartment and all the accessories are exposed. Now, it looks like there's the patch antenna and the for the FPV, which is this, and the antenna for the radio control for the quad is here, and it's held down by some hot glue, it looks like, and it's just plugged in. Get really close to that if I can, directly here. So what we'll do is we'll disconnect this and take this particular patch off of there. And the same thing on this side, we'll just disconnect it from here, it looks like, being careful not to disturb any other stuff. And it's held on in that slot by a little hot glue. We'll remove those two first, remembering that this side, the right hand side, is for your patch antenna, which is the antenna here, and the left side is for the monopole antenna there. So it should be easily removed, so I'm going to just try to remove it here. It looks like it just pulls off, a little hot glue. And I may have to take a screwdriver if I can't pull that up. Well, it just popped right up, so good. Good. So we're going to lay that there. Same thing on this side. We're going to remove this from the hot glue. They got a little hot glue holding it on the side over here, so you want to be careful. Looks like mine, they kind of over glued it and it went down into the casing a little bit, but it should pull right out just like that. And I'm going to remove this. I'm just using my fingernail, and it pops right up. Okay, now I'll put that on that side there. Now what I'm going to do is pre-drill these holes in here. At the top of the, you'll see there's a notch for each one. I'm going to go a little bit near the top, which means it'll give me enough room under the bottom there, if you can see that. to pass the cabling and the top of the connector. I'm going to do that on both sides here. Move some of that. Being careful not to go too far into the casing. It looks like you can just drill right here and here. I already got my drill set up, so I'm going to go and drill these holes. You don't need to be able to see that. Just be careful as you go through and don't press too hard. Okay, I'll be right back. Now I have my hole drilled. Had a little excess and I was off by a little bit on the other one, as you can see, but I have my holes drilled and it came out pretty good. Off by a little bit on one, but I think it's going to work out just fine. Now I get to put the hardware in, and the best way I found to insert the hardware is through the bottom and secure it from the top with the washers and everything else. You don't want to over tighten, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and get those on and the connectors for each. Remember to keep your sides lined up and plugged in, and we'll give it a try. Hang on just a moment. Be right back. After drilling the holes, I had to kind of adjust to make sure that they were aligned properly under the casing. But I now have the ports into each one of the holes there, and each one is lined up pretty close to the actual center. Now I was able to pass the cables under the bottom and plug each one into each one of the appropriate connectors. So in a moment, once I have all the cabling, I'll put the back on and we'll give it a test try. Okay, after the mod, I've got the back case back on and I have the antennas attached, and everything went very well actually, and it looks like it's been professionally done. So I'm very pleased with the actual connectors. Had a little problem plugging it into the board. I didn't show that because it's real small and my camera wouldn't film it anyway, but it just plugs directly on the board itself. So we will see what happens. Well, it still comes on. In a moment I'm going to get the 501S. I think I got a half charged battery and we'll give it a try. Okay, I have the Hubsan on deck now and it's waiting for calibration. I'm going to turn it on my controller and it looks like it's getting telemetry, so that lets me know that the antennas are working. So we're going to go ahead and do the calibration real quick, even though I'm inside the house. We'll spin it a couple of times, calibrate it this way a couple of times, and it looks like it is now calibrated. I'm going to lay the Hubsan there and we'll do a little field test of, if I can bring it in camera, we'll do a little field test of unlocking it. And it picked up, it's picking up GPS and all that. So we're unlocking the controller. Unlocking the controller. Looks like it's working okay. Motors are geared up and spinning, and we're killing the motors. Seems like it's working. So that is the simple mod of the H501S. And if you have any questions or concerns, give me a call or leave me a message in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to help you get it connected. Till next time, Mayday.
Yo, what's up, money? Yeah.